Hello my fellow crafters and welcome to David's Craft Room. My name is David and this is my craft room. Slightly exploded craft room at the moment. It's a mess. I will not show you. I think you know what I mean. I've done several projects today. I filmed several films and now it's exploded everywhere. Anyway, let me tell you what the project is for today, because we're going to be working with iron-on, but on several different blanks. So this is a canvas, a reversed canvas technique. What you do is you take the stitches of the back and you turn it around. So this is what we're going to be working on today. It says 100 years. Now why 100 years? It's quite simple. My birthday is on the 9th of November. Daniel's birthday, my partner, is on the 11th of November. And the 2 days in between this year, we are 100 years if you add it up. So that was a reason for a party. So this week we have a party, a birthday party at our house, and this is the home decor we made for it. So this is the sign that's going to be at our front door of the house. But of course we need to wear some clothes. It's going to be that kind of party, not that kind of party. You know what I mean? We're going to wear some clothes. And if we have to wear clothes, then we might as well make a t-shirt, right? We have a Cricut, I have a heat press, so why not? And I came up with this fun t-shirt saying 100 years. I love this Siser HTV. So those are the projects I'm going to be making today. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, I would definitely do so, because I've got fun projects coming up. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell so you will not miss out on any of my future videos. Now, without any further ado, let's dive in and start making some fun projects. Have fun! I have many ideas in my head, and one of the things that I'm going to start with is a sign to hang on my door for when people enter for the party. And what am I going to do? Let me think. I'm going to use this sticker as a base. So I'm going to click on it. This is a design I made myself. I'm going to click on customize, because I don't want to make a sticker. We'll do that some other time. Next, what I'm going to do is select my machine, and in this case it's the Explorer 3, and I'm going to save my project under a different name. So I'm going to click on save as, change the name, say 100 years door sign. I'm going to make a new collection, which will make it easier for me to find back, saying 100 years. This is where I'm going to save all my designs for this party. Okay, I'm going to click on save. So now I still have my project here for the next time. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach, because all I want is this part. And what this is, it says a T from Teunissen and R from Rodenburg, and in the middle it's a D. It's a bit hard to read, but hey, it's a D. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this from a pen writing to a cut. I'm going to make it a basic cut. Now it is a solid image that I can cut out of my HTV. But this is not all that I'm going to do. Now the first thing I'm going to do is going to make a template, which I find easy because then I can easily resize everything to the size I need. So I'm going to go to shapes, click on it, click square, and that will place a square on my canvas. Next, I'm going to resize this to the measurements I need. Now I want to unlock my aspect ratio, or proportions as Cricut calls it. Now there are two ways to do that. You can click over here on the little lock you see, or you can click here on the lock. In this case, I'm going to click here. It really doesn't matter. It does exactly the same. Now I know my surface is going to be 26 high by 20 width. And I want it to be, I don't want it landscape, I want it in portrait. So I know the width is 20 and the height is 26. And there we have our template. I'm going to change the color of that because it's white, obviously. Well, not obviously, but in this case it's white. I'm going to send that to the back. So now my design is in front of my canvas. Next, I'm going to insert some text. I'm going to click on text over here at the left and start typing 100. And I'm going to do another one. Click again on text and type in years. For the years, I want to use this fun font. It's called DTC Girly Talk. I think I've got this font from Design Bundle, so it's not a Design Space font. And I think that's the beauty. You can also use your own fonts. I'm going to click on that. Yeah, that's fun. And then the 100, I know I want that to be big and bold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the search fonts, Impact, which is a really big, impactful font. There we go. Okay, I want to make this a bit more sexy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to Images, click on it, and then I'm going to search all images. And I'm going to type in the word swoosh. Not sure it'll bring anything up, but let's see. And it does. It brings up a lot. Now I like this red one. So I'm going to click on that. And because I'm subscribed to Cricut Access, this one is free for me. It's not for you. So there are a lot of free ones. However, this one I'm choosing at the moment is not free. But since I'm a Cricut Access member, it is to me. I think I can work with that one. So I'm going to click Add to Canvas at the right bottom. Put that in. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I want to edit this because this is definitely not the one I'm going to use. So I am going to ungroup this. I'm going to delete this one. When you want something gone, you can click on it and hit your delete button. Or come here to the layer panel and hit delete there. I'm going to make it smaller. I have this idea that I want this to be there. Here. There we go. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up here to where it says offset. And I'm going to click on offset. Now this is the standard offset it comes with. I want that a bit smaller. Now you can do the slider and make it smaller. Or you can type in here to make it a different size. Now I want to try 0.4 to see what that does. And you can immediately see a change here with the blue line. Makes it smaller. I want it even a tiny bit more smaller. And then I'm going to hit apply. Now it has put a black outline around it. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to use the slice function. Now, what's very important, if you use the slice function, you can only do that when you have two layers selected. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over to my layer panel and I can see the black swoosh that we just made is selected. Okay, I'm going to come back, select the black layer that we just made, and I'm going to select my text. How am I going to do that? By pressing my Shift key on my keyboard and click on the second one. Now these two layers are selected and you can see in the right bottom, the slice has become available. If I would select another layer, for instance, the other text, you can see it's turning light gray and it's no longer available. This is because you can only cut through two layers at the same time. So once again, my black layer and my text layer, and I'm going to slice through that. Now I can have a look here. I want my 100. This part can go. This part can go. This part can also go, because all I want left is this swoosh and my 100. And now I'm going to change the color of this and turn it to black. I'm just going to keep everything black because actually, come to think of it, I have this brainwave now. In a silvery type and do this, and 100 and the years, I will do those in gold. So let's turn that into a yellow. And then this swoosh can be silver again. That could be fun. But this is just how my thought process works. I come with an idea and then I start in Design Space and it completely changes. I like this. I like how it looks. Now just resize this a bit, slightly bigger. Now what I will do, I will group this together, and now I will select these two, hit align center again. This will make sure everything is aligned. Now with both selected, I can adjust the size. Okay, now we can hide this layer because this one is just for our reference. So I'm gonna hide that one and we're gonna click make it, right? Because we're ready. Now Design Space will ask us if we want to work on a mat, on the smart material, or multiple ways. In this case, I'm gonna work on the mat and hit done and then have a look. Okay, this is correct. I want these two in the same color. And then I'm gonna click on the next one. Oh, no, that's not correct because I want these to be together. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hit cancel. Okay, now we're back on our canvas. Now what we need to do is two things. First, I need to ungroup this. Because if I attach now, it will also attach this layer because it's in the same group. So I've ungrouped. Now I'm gonna select in my layer panel, or you can click on it here, with my shift key pressed on the 100 and on the word years. Then I'm gonna hit at the right bottom, attach. Now this will cut the way we have it here on our screen. Now we're ready to hit make it. So I'm gonna click make it and it'll open a screen asking us, do we want to cut without a mat, on the mat, or multiple ways? As I said, on the mat because I'm using PolyTape, and hit done. Now it's very important. We're using HTV or iron-on, so we need to mirror. The same for the next one. So both mats are now mirrored, so we can continue. It's a very important step when using iron-on material or heat transfer vinyl. We're going to browse all materials. I'm going to come down to the iron-on section. You can see here iron-on, and I'm going to click everyday iron-on. This will cut it out beautifully. So I'm going to hit that, and I might hit that star because this is a product I use more often. And then I'm going to click on done at the bottom. Now we're all set up, and it also reminds us that we have that we may need to make sure that mirror is turned on, and we can work with change our pressure. Now it's a brand new machine, a brand new knife, so I'm not going to bother with that. So let's head over to the machine and cut it out. Now here we are at the Cricut Explorer 3, and I'm using my standard grip mat because in my experience that works the best with the HTV that I'm using. Now I'm lining up at the left side of the machine, pushing it against gray rollers, and hit that flashing arrow button. The machine will line out the mat and make sure that everything is ready, and then I'm going to hit that flashing play button. And when we're done cutting, I've sped this up of course, we press the arrow button again and we unload the mat. Take off the vinyl, and now we can already put on the gold to cut out the next part. Again, line up at the left, push to the gray rollers, and hit that arrow button. When it's all lined out, we're going to hit the play button and the machine will cut out everything for us. It's that easy. And the machine is done. Click unload by clicking on the arrow buttons and then take the mat from the vinyl. I'm going to cut off any excess, roll the rest up again because there's no point in wasting that good material. And then we're going to weed this out. And let me tell you, weeding out transfer vinyl is like a charm. Compared to normal vinyl, yeah, this is definitely my favorite. I really like working with HTV, making t-shirts, but also using it for home decor as I'm doing today. These are gonna go on the canvas, so but you can also do HTV on wood, etc. You will see these things in the future on my channel. Now it's important to take off all the little bits and pieces and also make sure that everything that you weed is off the backing, because otherwise that will transfer onto your blank that you are putting it on. And I always like to do a double check so that I'm sure that everything is weeded out and ready to go, because once it's pressed on, you can forget about it. You can't get it off anymore. And this is the final part that we're gonna weed for our 100-year party. You can see it's weeding really, really simple. So I'm going to put this to the side. So now I'm going to move over to Design Space to design the second part of this tutorial. And that is, I'm going to make 2 fun t-shirts in this project as well. So let's hop over to Design Space and see how I'm going to do that. On to the next project, which is going to be very similar, very simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select my logo, or the monogram that is, and I'm going to delete that. I don't want that. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to change the color of that to one bright color. You will see in a minute why I will not do the swoosh in a different color, because I'm using patterned iron-on, and that's a different story altogether. That's why I wanted to show you how I made this one. Now I've measured my t-shirt, and I know I want my sign to have a width of approximately 25 centimeters. So I'm going to select all, and I'm going to group it because this is all the same color, the same size, and I'm going to try to weld it. I'm not sure it's going to work, but because there's some glitches in Design Space with welding at the moment, but we'll see. Yes, it did it. There are certain benefits in welding, because now this is one layer to Design Space, and that also helps it go through your Cricut machine quicker. It's all welded, it's all one layer, so it's easier to work with. So I'm going to select the size panel over here. I'm going to click in there, select, and I'm going to type in 25 centimeters. So that's going to give me a height of approximately 18 centimeters, which is fine. And then we're already done with this one, and I'm going to click Make It. I'm going to do it on the mat. Hit Done. Now, I'm going to use iron-on. And I just said, with iron-on, you always need to hit Mirror. Well, not in this case, because we're going to use patterned iron-on. This is a Siser one. Really nice one, and I'm going to use that on black, and it's really gonna pop off there. We're not gonna mirror this one, so we're gonna hit Continue. It's connecting to my Explorer 3. Could be my Maker, but the Explorer is on my desk, so I'll use that. And I'm gonna use the everyday iron-on setting again because it works. So hit that, and we're gonna hop over to the machine and cut this stuff out. So I've got my pieces of heat transfer vinyl ready to be put on the mat. And this way, the way we do it now is different than with the one before, because this is pretty side up. That's why we didn't have to mirror it. You cut this pretty side up. So we're doing the same, lining it up on the left side, pushing it to the gray rollers, pressing the arrow button, and then after it's lined out, press that play button. Then take the vinyl off the mat and repeat the process again with the second part. Put it on, pretty side up, put it in the machine, and while it's cutting out, I'm going to weed out the first part. And again, this is heat transfer vinyl, so it weeds quite easy once you get the beginning. You got to be careful though, because this backing is not as sticky as the other one. So when pieces come loose, you have to make sure that they stay in the right position. Now, this is not a very intricate design, so I'm not too worried. But when I have a more intricate design and I'm working with this kind of vinyl, I'm really taking it more slow to make sure everything stays in place, because you can't press it back onto the sticky backing. I really like how this design pops out in this color. For these kind of heat transfer vinyls, the patterned ones, you need a heat resistant transfer sheet. And this is what I'm cutting now. Normally I would cut one and reuse it, but for the ease of this video, I made 2 pieces. So in a way, you're doing the same thing as you do with transfer paper and vinyl. You varnish it on there, turn it around, varnish as well, and then peel off the backing from the vinyl. And that front part is heat resistant. That's important. Don't use your normal transfer vinyl because that will melt when you put it under the heat press. And that would be a shame after all your hard work. So here I've got my big easy press. I chose to use my Cricut Easy Press for this one because it's easier to film. I also have a big press that I will show you in another video. To be honest, that one is a bit easier to work with, but okay. I preheated it for a couple of seconds and now I'm just going to make sure my design is on there the way I want it. And I'm going to press for 15 seconds. And I'm just going to put my body weight on there a bit. Going to take it off, let it cool for a minute. And then I noticed it was not adhered correctly, despite the fact that the Siser website gave me these instructions. So I pressed for another 5 to 10 seconds and then pressed from the back again for another 15 seconds. Turned it around, let it cool for a moment, and then I peeled it off and it came off perfectly. I had to help some bits slightly with my weeding tool, just the corners, because it stuck to the transfer sheet. But as you can see, it came off perfectly and no parts lifted off. So there we have it. The first 100 years shirt. So preheating the second one, putting on the vinyl. And it is a shame in a way because by the time I'm recording this voiceover, this is after the party. And I had to cancel the party because we went back into a lockdown here in the Netherlands. So the party could not take place, which was a shame. But yeah, we have to do it together. So that's why. Now here I have that piece of canvas that I've cut off the frame, took out the stitches from the back, and I painted the frame with a wash of silver. And that's going to be the front of the panel when I'm done. It's a really fun technique. It's the reverse canvas technique. And I will show it to you in detail in another video, how you really do it from scratch. But now we have to do it this way. Now I made sure everything is in the right place. And I'm going to start pressing with my Cricut heat press or the Easy Press. Press it down for 15 seconds and peel it off. It goes really well on the canvas. And this Siser, no, it's not the Siser Easy Weed. It's the PolyTape heat transfer vinyl. Works like a charm. 15 seconds and it's on there and will not go anywhere. So the last part is that swoosh, and then you can see it all coming together. Press it again. And what I did was press for 5 seconds, peel off the backing, another 5 seconds for the next part, and then the final press I did for the full 15 seconds. Okay, and now that's all on there. It's time to assemble the project. I'm going to take my frame, turn it around, and I'm going to use my stapler to put 4 staplers in first, opposite of each other, making sure the canvas is tight, and then check whether I'm happy, and then go around and staple it all the way around. Now you can also use your hot glue gun for this. I just prefer to do it this way. It's easy, quick, and yeah, don't burn myself. And it always worked for me, so this is the way I do it. Then of course there has to be a ribbon on there so we can put it on the door for when the guests arrive. And it's all done. I really like how these projects turned out. Now if you like this as well, please give this video a thumbs up and consider to subscribe to my channel. This was it for today and I hope to see you for the next one. Thank you for watching and I'll see you then. Bye!